Welcome to No Apologies on Beck, where we are unafraid to speak the truth. I'm your host, Rick Becker, co-host Lori Hintz.
Hello.
Yes, indeedy, and I'm so looking forward to tonight's guest.
I knew you would like this.
I know. I felt a little
miffed that you missed him last time.
That you scheduled him last time and talking about medical stuff, but I get to be here tonight. We're going to talk about economic stuff, and this guy is a power player for sure.
It's all true.
So yeah, that's going to be good. We're going to keep him all night long.
Little does he know.
Yeah. So a little more local. I want to talk about redistricting in North Dakota. Now, we're all aware that after the census, the legislative districts are redrawn. It's done in every state. Congressional districts are redrawn. In North Dakota, we don't do that because we only have one congressman, and therefore the state is its own district. But the 47 legislative districts in the state are relooked at depending on population. And you're going to be hearing more about this. November 8th, the legislature is going to go back into session and approve some form of a redistricting plan. One has already been drawn up and has been approved by the committee that drew it up. It needs to go to the House. Now, there's a small component in there that I don't think has gotten much attention, but I think you're going to be hearing more about, especially as session comes up. And the reason you may be hearing more about it is because how the media likes to latch on to something that seems very divisive and racially motivated.
Sure.
So, as just a little bit of background, in North Dakota, we have multi-member districts. So what that means is you currently live in a legislative district, and the boundaries of that legislative district are the same for your senator as they are for your 2 representatives.
Correct.
Now, there are 10 states in the nation that have these multi-member. So when they say multi-member versus single member, they're talking about your representative, not your senator. The senator is single, at least in North Dakota. And but in the other states, Nebraska is unicameral. They don't have a Senate and a House. They just have the legislative.
One body.
Yeah, one body. But in the other, I guess, 38 states, or 39 states, the members are, it's a single member district. So the legislative district has, as a whole, 1 senator, and then it's split in 2, and you have a sub-district. One has 1 representative, one has the other. North Dakota doesn't have that. Now, what we have before us, though, is selective single-member districts in the state. And the basis for it is a racial basis, but that's really a lot about what the Voting Rights Act is all about, and this is what we're looking at. And so that's what I want to go over with you, because we have a very unique situation in North Dakota. Now, if you pull up the first map,
these maps, by the way, are available on the legis.nd.gov website, so you can see them yourself and go and peruse them.
You bet. Legis.nd.gov. It's right on the home page there, redistricting maps.
Right.
So this is the proposed statewide plan. There's a whole bunch there. And you'll see that any given color is its own district. In the rural areas of North Dakota, they are huge.
They are huge
districts.
Yes.
When you get down into, say, Fargo and Bismarck, for example, they're so small you can't actually see the colors. And it's all based on population. Each district needs to be within 5% of the goal number of people, the population in that district.
Just basically to keep things even within the state.
Yes. So what we're going to be talking about is District 4, which is along the Missouri River, just kind of in the northwest part of the state, and then District 9, which is way up along the Canadian border and a little bit over to the east. Okay, so those are the 2 districts. Now, what we're looking at is Indian reservations, right? Because the proposal has been made that perhaps Indian reservations should be their own sub-districts or their own single-member districts, so that
I thought that was kind of pushed by the wayside, but it was pushed forward, huh?
Well, yeah, it's definitely pushed forward. And so what we're looking at in North Dakota, there's Fort Berthold, Turtle Mountain, Spirit Lake, Standing Rock, and Lake Traverse.
Okay.
And so Standing Rock, for instance, south of Mandan, is also interested in its own single-member district, but they don't have enough members to comprise a single-member district, right? Or to comprise a majority even of a single-member district or a
So they don't
sub-district.
have enough population to be able to.
Enough population, right. So currently that's what we're looking at is Fort Berthold, which is going to be in the District 4, and Turtle Mountain, which is going to be in District 9. Now, to the core, I have a problem with this because we are, again, carving out a special segment of the population based on race, and I think that's a wrong, bad idea. And you can't correct an injustice by committing another injustice.
Not only that, but you're setting a precedent for the future, and you're just going to cause more problems down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing. Those of us that are concerned about this are going to be, labeled racist and so forth. I'm okay with single-member districts. I'm okay with having it exactly the way they want, with the reservations getting more or less their own district to elect a representative. But then we need to do it for the entirety of the state. Either it's the right thing to do for everyone, or it's not the right thing to do, in which case we should stay away from it. Now, the legislators, and the reason they're voting on it is because they are concerned, they have been told that we may get sued if we don't do this. Because again, because
the lawyers are the ones who run everything, actually.
Right, so the Voting Rights Act, but what's very interesting is that according to our own legislative council, they say that there's a particular decision, Supreme Court decision, Shaw versus Reno in 1993, and they said through this Shaw decision and other decisions through the Supreme Court that unless race was the predominant factor in the creation of a district, a racial gerrymander challenge is not likely to be successful. So in our districts, race is not, so here's the thing. Here's what they took. If you took a reservation and split it into 3 different districts, you will dilute the Native American vote. You'll dilute it. And that's what has been done in other areas in the South based on race and so forth. That would be inappropriate. That would be racial gerrymandering. In North Dakota, we've got multi-member districts. That's all we have.
Right.
There is no intent to disenfranchise the Native American vote. So I don't think there's any concern with a court challenge, but that's the reason that they're moving ahead with it. They're saying if we don't do it, the court's going to do it, and then they're going to draw the lines. Pull up our next map here, if you would, please. And so here's what we have with District 4. And again, maybe if you look in that lower yellow lined portion, there's the green line portion, and then in the lower left, there's the yellow line portion. Together, they comprise District 4. The subunits, the subdistricts, are 4A and 4B, and in the yellow, you have the exact outlines of the reservation. So the reservation is its own single-member district, and then outside of the reservation is the other. And I find that very interesting because what they do is they take a population, Native American population, which is on the order of say 60-some%, and really increase it on that subdivision. But let's go quickly before we run out of time to the next map, which is District 9. This is the one I find most fascinating. You have, if you take a look, the District 9 and then 9A. That's how it's labeled in this map. That's not what they'll be called. But what you have is an area which includes portions of the reservation in the, I guess, racially preferred district of 9A, and then portions of the reservation which are not included. So
they're doing the opposite in this one? Oh,
now here's the thing. In this overall District of 9, before you subdivide it, the Native American population comprises 57.65% of the population. So they have the majority in the whole district.
Wow.
But when you subdivide it, you have one of the districts having 81.55%, but the other subdistrict has 34.68%. So in this so-called helping the Native Americans get better representation, you're actually taking one of their representatives and completely moving it out of a majority Native American vote.
Interesting.
Now, the other thing that let's just talk about race. The other thing that's so weird about this is you're taking, in 9A, which is the racially preferred area, you're leaving a lot of the reservation out. So now, those Native Americans, what voice do they have?
Right.
Right? And what about the whiteys that were in 9, but now they're in 9A in the Native American? So this whole idea of
It's just
trying
going
to
to, going
correct
to cause
racial
more
divisions
problems.
only increases
It's
racial divisions.
going to increase. I agree with you.
And that's why I say either you do it for the whole state or you don't do it all. And this whole kowtowing and concern about having some group sue the state, just do the right thing and let the chips fall where they may.
Agreed.
Just do the right thing.